All right. So Albert says, let's start.
All right. If you'll wait a little bit, Zaki, we're gonna introduce our topics, and then you can join the voice channel. All right.
We need to get like intro music or like.
Yeah. I've just had lo-fi beats going.
Lo-fi hip hop beats to chill to.
To chill and study to. Yeah. All right. So let me introduce our first topic.
Albert says, put on
Everywhere
World
I
War
go,
II noises
I
to
see
chill
his
to.
face. I just really miss him.
Yeah, I miss him too.
I just got a Spider-Man Homecoming.
I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be here after he was gone.
You gonna be the next Iron Man now?
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your jobs.
Oh, I'm kidding. Look, keep up the good work. Because I am going on vacation.
Heads up. Nick Fury's calling you.
I don't really want to talk to Nick
Answer
Fury.
the phone.
Why?
Because if you don't talk to him, then I have to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. You sent Nick Fury to voicemail?
I gotta go.
You do not ghost Nick Fury.
What up, dorks? What's up? We're just talking about the trip.
I'm here in St. Marco Polo. Oh,
I think MJ really likes me.
that reminds me when I first fell in love.
You're a very difficult person to contact, Spider-Man. This is Mr. Beck.
We could have used someone like you on my world.
Your world? Beck is from Earth, just not ours. The snap to our hole in our dimension.
You're saying there's a multiverse?
We have a job to do. You're coming with us.
There's gotta be someone else you can use. What about Thor?
Off-world.
Captain Marvel?
Unavailable.
But I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
What do you want, Peter?
I want to go back on my trip with the girl who I really like and tell her how I feel. MJ, I
am Spider-Man.
No, of course I'm not.
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
You're right, you may not be ready, but this is my responsibility.
Saving the world requires sacrifice. Sometimes people die.
Oh my God.
I just always feel like I'm putting my friends in danger. The world needs the next Iron Man.
You going to step up or not?
I gotta get you guys out of here. Get on the jet. Who are you? I work with Spider-Man.
You work for Spider-Man?
I work with Spider-Man, not for Spider-Man. New plan.
Spider-Man: Far From Homeland Security is the latest installment and smash hit sequel to Spider-Man: Homecoming, wherein which Peter Parker goes on vacation. So, what did you guys think?
I thought it was great. Albert is currently wiping his shit off of his hair.
I like the part where he hijacked the plane.
It's a great part.
Yeah.
And he drove into the Twin Towers.
Yeah. Full
Yeah.
spoilers, by the way. If you
yeah,
haven't
sorry
seen
about
you haven't seen Spider-Man, I know it's only been out for about a week and a half. So, spoiler disclaimer starting now.
You wanna put it in the title?
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, maybe just to warn people. Ugh. But yeah, dude, I thought it was a great movie. I really liked the movie.
It's definitely an improvement over Homecoming.
Definitely. I think the twist in the movie was pretty good. I didn't what am I trying to say? I don't think it was as good as the one in Homecoming, the twist specifically. Because you kind of saw it coming. If you know Mysterio, you kind of
Well, I mean, yeah,
understand that it's coming.
I could see that.
At least the shock factor that, what's going on.
That comes with that.
I thought that the movie as a whole was definitely better than.
Oh yeah, in terms of like filmmaking, and then especially like plot overall.
Yeah.
It was better.
100%.
However, as a Spider-Man movie, I still think it was a little bit better than Homecoming. Homecoming, I think, coming off of the heels of, like, you know, Civil War, is its biggest crutch. And I've always said this, is that Spider-Man being connected to the MCU is a giant crutch.
You think so?
I think so. Because then everything has to tie back into the MCU. Like, you know, the previous two villains that we've gotten from the MCU are all connected to Tony Stark.
Mm-hmm.
So in a sense, they're not Peter's villains anymore. They're Tony Stark's villains. You know?
Yeah.
Just coming back to haunt. So in that sense, it's a little annoying. But, I don't know, I was telling Albert, once you accept that it's not really, like, the traditional Spider-Man, then it's great. If you can get past that, which I know a lot of people can't, obviously, but if you can get past that, it's great. And honestly, it's probably my second favorite Spider-Man movie.
You think so?
After Spider-Verse, of course.
Spider-Verse, of course, yeah.
Yeah, because nothing can top Spider-Verse.
No. Hold on, I'm plugging my headphones real quick because Albert just left.
Okay. How's Blondie?
Okay, I'm back.
How's Blondie?
He is orange.
I told you.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because, I mean, he's still wet right now, right? So
Oh my.
it's gonna be darker than it really is until it dries, right?
Yeah.
But
He's seen pictures of what it looks like. Pictures that he apparently stole off my Instagram.
He's still really dark though, really dark. There's still really dark spots too.
Yeah.
So I feel bad about that.
Like I said, he just needs another process about 3 days from now.
Yeah.
That'll even it out a bit more.
Yeah. And then worst case scenario, I'd say a week from now, he just has to get it fixed.
Possibly. Although I would recommend a toner, like I said, because that'll definitely fix it. Because once, you know, the hairs lighten up, it'll take to the color. Because nobody ever truly has, like, bleached hair unless you're going for that sort of look. But I don't know, I don't like it. I think it's a little, like, angry. But anyways,
I'm trying to think of what bleached hair really looks like. It's not the orange, right?
it's like a more subtle version of that. It just looks like it's been stripped of its color.
Hello.
What's up?
What's going on?
Oh yeah, you're right. It's
Orange
really aggressive.
person. Yeah.
I'm more of like a redhead.
Yeah.
I mean, you look red right now because it's still wet. I think once it dries completely, it'll look.
So what do you think? Have you made a terrible mistake?
I've made a moderate mistake.
Send pics. I need to see.
Right.
It's not great. I'm not gonna lie. It's not great.
It's not good.
No one's first time ever is.
I
Well,
mean,
feel like
it was not only my first time dyeing someone's hair, but it was Albert's first time hair getting dyed.
Oh yeah.
Once we whatchamacallit, do it again in 3 days.
Yeah.
It'll feel like it'll come out a little better.
Oh yeah. I'm losing viewers.
Are you? Well, we're not really talking about movies right now.
I know
are we?
because of Albert's hair.
Sorry.
It was my fault. So back to Spider-Man.
Like I said, it had everything that Spider-Man Homecoming needed, but like that Spider-Man Far From Home is what Spider-Man Homecoming should have been, in my opinion.
I wholeheartedly agree. Oh, we never did introductions. Quick side note. So my name is Aaron. I'm the local film critic. I love movies. I love making movies. I love movies.
Nice. I am Berty. I have a separate channel on Twitch where I stream video games off.
All right.
Yeah, I had to
feel
take
like
the
we
chance
need
to plug your stream.
I
You
didn't
need to
say
plug your-
I didn't say the name. I didn't say the name of my Twitch channel. I'm just saying like that's just what my hobby is right now. The things that I'm interested in.
Oh, it's so orange.
Yeah, I know it's
Sorry
really
to get
bad.
off topic again. Yeah, it's kind of blotchy too. Sorry, proceed.
But yeah, no. I also like watching movies and talking about them with my best friend Aaron.
Oh,
And
shucks.
we also brought along.
B-word I hear.
We also brought along this dude with us. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
No, can you introduce me, please?
Which one of us?
Anyone?
Sure. Everyone, this is one of my best friends, James. He is a tech whiz. He knows a lot more than I do about all of this. He's also a genuinely good person. One of the few genuinely good people that I've ever met.
Thank you.
Great guy.
Thank you.
Loves making
I was
music.
expecting more of a... Yeah, I do.
Loves making music. Likes movies, I assume. Or else he wouldn't be here.
Yeah. I like movies. I do.
So yeah, that's why we're here. We love movies. We're here to talk about movies. And entertainment in general. Anything else that might come up. So yeah. Spider-Man, I'm going to give it a solid 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Not bad.
I give it a 4 out of 5 too.
Yeah. For those
feel
of
like
you
it was-
unfamiliar with my grading system, I grade on 5. So that's one of the highest scores I've given this year.
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
Which can be reduced to 4 out of 5 if you want to. But, I feel like it's too many 5s.
I appreciate your
I need to be different.
your variety.
Yeah.
It's nice to have diversity.
8 out of 10 McChicken sandwiches.
Context: he has a McChicken sandwich that he refuses to eat, even though he took.
I already finished it.
Okay. I think the writing it would have been better. Like the writing could have been better. That's why it's a 4 out of 5. It's really. I don't know. Like
I was
there's a lot of plot holes. I think.
I was satisfied with the writing actually, because with the post-credit scene, again spoilers. I put the spoiler in the title, but with the post-credit scene, they fix pretty much the biggest plot hole in the movie, which is why Nick Fury, the most informed man on the planet, couldn't figure out that Mysterio is faking it. And it's because he's off-world, he's being impersonated by a Skrull, and I think it's a bit of a cop-out, honestly. But I think in the broader context of the movie, it works.
It's just like, but there's things that Nick Fury knew that Skrull shouldn't have known, like the secret code that Happy gave him through the secret code. Like whenever Happy called him and he gave him a secret code through the phone that only Nick Fury would understand.
Well, I mean, it was pretty obvious anybody would have understood that. That's why he looked all confused. Yeah, that's why he looked all confused in that scene, is because it wasn't super obvious, but it's an odd statement to say on the phone, so anybody would have gotten that. Or I feel like a Skrull could have gotten that. It was Talos.
Something as stupid as a Skrull. Something idiotic enough.
A Skrull could have written this movie.
Some stupid idiot Skrull.
Yeah. You guys want to talk about the post-credit scene?
Yes.
What do you think they're building to with the Skrulls? We'll move on to the other one here in a minute.
I don't know. I feel like isn't there in the comics there's Sword or something like that? And it's like Shield but on a more galactic scale.
Shield but in space.
Shield but in space, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, like they're gonna be making the Sword
because the Shield having been penetrated by Hydra, Nick Fury can certainly trust the Skrulls more than he can anyone else on Earth, because the Skrulls were off-world, you know what I mean, for the whole thing.
Yeah,
practically. So the likelihood of any of them being part of Hydra, maybe being part of something else, sure, but being part of Hydra are very, very low. So
I don't know. I think they're moving on from Hydra personally, because
that's what I'm saying.
Hydra's been extinct since Civil War pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They're moving on to AIM, which is going to be like the main like force of evil on Earth, I guess. And yeah, I don't know. I think part of the problem is that Nick Fury's been dead for 5 years. So that's why he doesn't have as many connections with S.H.I.E.L.D. as he did originally. Which is why he moved on to whatever he's doing in space. Quite possibly because of Captain Marvel. You know, they're teaming up or they're trying to put something together for Captain Marvel too.
Yeah.
Which I think will be some variation of, not Secret Wars, but one of the cosmic stories probably.
Was it Skrull Invasion or something like that? It was a storyline where the Skrulls come in.
Yeah, it's Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion?
Yeah. I doubt they'd do that though, just because they've already done the Skrulls as like good, like morally good people, you know?
Yeah,
but so it'd be a little redundant to do that.
Right?
Yeah, there's different like.
Okay, yeah.
There's different groups.
Never mind. Yeah, no, but I think you know.
Sorry, Zaki, I'm not ignoring you. He just said, "I want to know if Hill has been a Skrull the whole time or just in that movie." Honestly, that's a very good question. I'm inclined to believe that she was dusted 5 years ago, and that she just has since come back and she's with Fury. But I don't know.
I think that she might have never been a person. She's always been a Skrull. I think that's way more interesting, because if you think about it, if they are going to do the whole, oh my god, someone's been a Skrull this entire time and you never knew it. Hill came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? She came completely out of nowhere in Avengers. Before then, whenever Nick Fury was talking to Iron Man about fucking Tony Stark about making the Avengers Initiative, Hill wasn't anywhere near that, right? He was with fucking Black Widow. Black Widow was there. So for all of a sudden, Maria Hill to have been fast-tracked to be, what was she, the deputy director of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like that?
Yeah.
I think that it makes sense that with how fast she rose in the ranks and the fact that she completely came out of nowhere in the first Avengers, I think it would make sense that she was a Skrull, and since Nick Fury can trust the Skrulls, he fast-tracked her to be his right-hand kind of person. I feel like if anyone is a Skrull in the Marvel Universe, it's most likely Maria Hill.
I could see that. I don't know, I feel like it'd be sort of a waste of all the character development. Because she's been revealed to be Talos's wife, right?
Yeah, the wife.
So that would... What about the post-credit scene from Infinity War then? That would mean that Talos's wife and Talos were both eliminated.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Nick Fury still could have been eliminated. I mean...
That's true. That's what I'm saying. It's a big, like, if, you know? Like, when the shift took place.
What if it's not one singular Skrull that is taking the place of
Maria Hill?
What if it's multiple? What if Maria Hill is just the vessel for which the Skrulls are able to keep up with Nick Fury? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what if multiple Skrulls take over the Maria Hill mantle?
That's some body horror. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, at that point, I would think we would have seen something like, you know, a Skrull reverting back to its original form before they get dusted, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
it's easily something that they could just fill in later, but, you know, it's whatever.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the white elephant.
Oh.
The mid-credits scene. The one that everybody wants to talk about.
Yeah. That one is fucking...
It's set up
the craziest thing.
That was
insane.
Set up
a lot for the third movie.
It's such a huge cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think they're not gonna, like, someone's gonna debunk the whole thing, like Fury, since like Fury has so much pull that he can debunk the whole like, oh, Peter Parker Spider-Man thing, like what Mysterio leaked is fake, right? But the villains are not gonna buy it because what's his name? Falcon knows, and so like once his identity came out, Falcon was gonna be like, yeah, Vulture. He's gonna be like, okay, he's gonna tell like the Scorpion, he's like, okay, I do know who it is, and it is Peter Parker, and so only the bad guys are gonna know, and the rest of the world is gonna be like, okay, Mysterio was faking it, but only the bad guys are gonna go after Peter now because they're gonna like come together in this team. I don't know if they're gonna do Sinister Six.
I don't know. That seems a little Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
I like being bad. It makes me feel good.
I think that if Nick Fury were to kind of say it was like it was all fake or whatever, and then everyone preferred to believe that, I think that's too much of a cop-out.
Same.
Like, there needs to be more repercussions in his personal life as well as with the bad people.
That's what they're leading into. I'm really hoping that they pursue that in the next movie, because I want to see, where New York hates Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because at this point we've only seen all the good.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a little bit of that, when he was getting started in Homecoming, but we haven't seen, like typical like anti-press Spider-Man.
Yeah.
This is really the beginning of that. And addressing what Zaki said, I don't think they're going to do Sinister Six.
Mm-mm.
It seems like it's a little much. It's
Maybe
really
the terrible 3.
Yes, it's really weird though that they addressed the Scorpion in the Homecoming end credits, but then they just forgot about him in this movie.
Yeah,
it would have felt like a natural progression, and I feel like they're gonna forget about him again in the third movie. So I don't think I don't think we'll ever see the Scorpion, and I'm fine with that because he's a mid-tier villain.
So then, who's going to be the bad guy of third movie? Do you think is going to be the Osborns or
John Watts has said that he wants Craven?
It's John Watts. The bad guy is the director, John Watts.
John Watts, the director. Get it? Because he made Spider-Man: Homecoming, which is a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie.
We'll discuss that shortly. But yeah, he said that he wants to do Craven for the third one.
Yeah, I saw that.
But that's weird because Sony still owns Craven.
Well, Sony also owns, Venom and stuff like that too, right?
Yeah. Last I heard, though, they were gonna make a Craven movie, so I don't know how that will affect. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Really?
Why? That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Venom.
Doc, I got venom inside me.
I got a venom inside me. You got to get it out. But yeah, I don't know how that will affect their plans. Because they're still making a Morbius movie, which is pretty much the worst idea I can think of. And then they're making
those balls from the magic balls.
I think
you know what I mean? The ones where you play with them in your hands and they like do funny stuff.
I don't know what you've been up to.
No, Fushigi.
Yeah. No, Morbius is he's an energy vampire, very deep cut.
Oh,
from the
yeah.
90s. Yet another scientist character. He's basically the lizard, but not a lizard. He's a vampire, and he feeds off of electricity. Or something. It's really the comics are weird because like Vulture had this thing where he could like steal people's youth, and that was his main motivation. It's a good thing they cleaned that up for Homecoming. But yeah, I think it definitely the end credits sets up, or the mid credits scene rather, sets up good potential for a sequel. However, depending on like what they decide to go with for the next villain will inform a lot of what happens. Quick point. What did you guys think about J.K. Simmons coming back? And what do you think that says?
Fantastic.
It was perfect. Like there's no one better suited for the role of J. Jonah Jameson than J.K. Simmons.
I think that if they would have recast JJ, then it wouldn't have. I don't know. I think they would have muddied the character. I don't think they could. You can't recast that character. I think that fans would have been angry. I think that there would be riots in the streets and people would be dead. Okay, they made the right choice. They saved lives.
I think it kind of validates like this Spider-Man almost, you know?
I don't know. It felt a little forced to me. Because then
Really?
it's like, you know, hey, we got this actor you love from the earlier Spider-Man movies. Are we a good Spider-Man movie now?
No.
I mean, it's more of a cameo.
I'm kidding.
Than a. They're not like trying anything. I don't think. I feel like.
Anyways,
I don't know that Jameson will ever be a main character in these Spider-Man films.
Yeah, they're just gonna keep him like an Alex Jones thing, like making.
I thought
I wouldn't be surprised if this is his only appearance.
I thought they did a good job of updating the character by making it like an InfoWars type show.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it shows, that not everyone is going to subscribe to that belief. It's not like they're immediately going to go after Spider-Man and try to lynch him. Oh, poor choice of words. But, it's that sort of like bringing it back to like today,
Yeah.
Wow, Aaron stole my comment. Blasphemy. He said the exact same thing. I didn't like Simmons' comeback. It felt like they forced him. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It feels like they needed some sort of device to make the reveal, and what better way to do that than JJ? But, I mean, I agree with James. It's like you can't recast the character because it's weird at that point.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor, like, a couple months back that they were going to recast JJ, but he was going to be a woman.
Oh, no.
A black woman.
That would have been interesting.
That would have been really interesting. But yeah, I don't know. What do you, while we're on the topic of change, how do you guys feel about, like, recasting in terms of, like, diversity?
I love it. Like, they've done it quite subtly and, like, just, like...
For instance, like a character like MJ,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're not forcing it, which is...
As long as it's not a character who their identity
revolves around
them being
their
a
appearance.
certain their appearance. I think that recasting MJ as Zendaya now, it sounded like I was trying to like not say black, but I wasn't sure what I was going for it there. But I think that the way that they casted MJ is interesting because not only are they changing the character completely, but they're making it. That's it, I guess. They're changing the character completely. She's not a model anymore. She's not,
Yeah.
Because MJ is supposed to be this model, this super attractive woman that, like,
Yeah, it's just
think that a lame-o like Peter Parker could never.
She's
get
the
with,
complete antithesis of that,
Exactly. She
And
like doesn't give a shit.
Normally, I'm not a fan of recasting for diversity because it's not a race thing. Just it's because whenever you cast someone in a role that like was depicted differently, it's like you devalue like the diversity of that because it's like you're giving them second best when you could be creating an all new character to sort of uplift that instead.
Yeah.
Now I've had a question that I think I asked James a while back. How bold do you think they'll get when it comes to character deaths? Like, do you think they'll actually kill off any of the main characters in Spider-Man or anything like that, or they're not going to go any of that route?
I'd say the main three are probably safe, for sure. I don't see Spider-Man.
Ned's
ever
dying.
doing
Ned's dying.
Ned's gonna die?
Ned's dying next movie.
Ned's dying?
I'm calling it.
You're calling it?
Calling it right now.
Interesting.
Come back to this podcast in 2 years.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to kill him, but maybe something's going to happen where he's going to like disassociate himself with like the whole Spider-Man.
I think
being the guy in the chair.
I think Spider-Man is gonna, he's under fire, right? Because his identity got revealed. He's getting blamed for everything. So I think he's gonna, try to seek refuge at Ned's house, right? and then like the Scorpion or I don't know why I said Scorpion, a villain is going to come after him. It's going to destroy Ned's house and kill his mother.
Yeah, the Joker probably.
Yes. and then Ned's going to harbor a grudge against him, and then he's going to go and find some tech, and then he's going to become the new Goblin.
Oh shit!
And then he's going to bump his head and lose his memory, and then he's going to be out of the movie for half the movie, and then he's going to regain his memory, and he's going to try to kill Spider-Man again, and then he's going to get blown up by Spider-Man, and then he's going to lose his memory again.
Oh wow!
And then 5 minutes later, he's going to get his memory back, and then he's going to go help Spider-Man defeat the villain.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So basically,
I feel like I've seen that before.
Yeah. I'm a prophet,
Yeah.
One sec, I'm going to read through my chat real quick.
Of course.
Have you heard that the new Ariel in The Little Mermaid is going to be black? Yeah, I have. To be honest, I don't really care.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
It's fine.
That's a perfect example of making a character,
her identity doesn't revolve around her appearance,
100%.
so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like if they had made Pocahontas black, then that's like something.
That's something that you can't change the race of Pocahontas. You can't change the race of Mulan or something like that.
Yeah.
But with something that's under the sea and it's not even specifically from a specific place, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
And
Like,
furthermore, like when they do change a character, like MJ for instance, as long as you make it different enough, and it's not just a copy. Like if they had just done, Kirsten Dunst's Mary Jane again, but made it Zendaya, it would have been annoying and like forced.
Yes.
Just imagine Zendaya hate Tiger.
Oh God. She will do that eventually because it's a Spider-Man thing, but like she's just such a different character that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ned is dead. I like the direction they went. What's up, Alfred? How's it going?
I think that I don't know that Spider-Man will ever deal with death in his movies. At least in the MCU, because the MCU only barely got to kill off a character.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they're making such a big deal out of it. Like
exactly. It's the biggest thing. And they've just now did it. They've been running for 10 years, and they just now killed off a character for good.
I don't know.
what I mean?
People die all the time.
You can make that point that Loki died. I mean, Loki's died a few times, but he came back. But now Loki's dead for sure. But he's still going to have another show after this. You know what I mean? He has the show on Disney Plus or whatever. So he's not really dead.
I don't know. Iron Man blew up all those terrorists, and Iron Man.
People died. No main characters are dying. You know what I mean? People died in.
Ego's dead.
Yeah, but
there's one.
Villains. Ego died. Fucking.
Pretty much all the villains are dead now that I think about it.
Pretty much all the villains are dead. Yeah.
So they've dealt with death before, but I see what you're saying. Like it's never had lasting repercussions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You kill off a villain, and it's just for that movie.
Yeah.
You go to the next movie, and there's now another villain.
So I see what you're saying. I don't know. I think that's part of the MCU problem, is that everything has to connect to each other.
Yeah.
So, whenever you have a solo movie, it's hard to make it feel like individual again.
Ronan is dead. Also, that's what Zaki just said in the chat.
Yep. I mean, Ronan is dead. Sure, but is Hawkeye?
I don't know. Maybe now that it's 5 years. No, but his daughter got dusted. Maybe like in the future, whenever they make another Avengers movie, Hawkeye will be passed down to his daughter or something like that.
But
I know
is Hawkeye dead?
No,
I don't think so. Come to think of it, we never saw any closure with his character, which is odd because he's the character that Endgame starts out on.
Yeah, the most closure we got was whenever Hulk snapped his fingers and he got a call from his wife. That's it.
The most closure we got was when Jeremy Renner released his new album.
Because
Heaven Don't Have a Name.
Yeah.
Also, I was thinking there is a rumor that they're going to make 9 Spider-Man movies. 3 of like him in high school, 3 in college, and 3 as an adult. And I feel like they set up some type of feud between him and that new character, the Asian guy who thought he was having sex with that older lady.
Is it Brad?
Is it Brad? Is his name Brad? I don't know, but like I feel like in the future he'll come back and like they'll spark another feud, not specifically from Far From Home. Like he's not gonna come back 5 years later and he's like, hey, I still think you're fucking that chick or whatever. But like he'll come back and there's something else. Like maybe Peter's trying to get a job and like they're kind of competing over it, and they're gonna like make that a running feud between him and that kid.
Oh, you're talking about
Brad Davis.
Ooh, Brad.
Ew, Brad.
Yeah, his name's Brad Davis. But I don't see the thing about them making 9 Spider-Man films or whatever. I don't know if the MCU will even run that long.
Oh, it will.
You think so?
Do you know
Oh
why?
yeah, definitely.
For 9
Listen to
Spider-Man
this
films?
very closely. Money. Don't tell Disney I said that.
But with Iron Man
Oh
dead,
God, they're here. Oh God.
they're gonna have to change. I mean, a lot of stuff is about to change with their main characters dead. Iron Man, Captain America. They're
Oh
out of
yeah.
the fight.
I think
yeah,
A lot of stuff is gonna change.
I mentioned
and
this.
I feel like
I mentioned this last time. Like they're moving in a different direction.
Oh yeah.
Like they're gonna. I think they're gonna adapt all new, all different Marvel, which is my least favorite. Personally, my least favorite era of comics. You know, like
yeah,
Sam Wilson is Cap now, which isn't a bad change because Sam Wilson's an interesting character. But addition to that, like Iron Man is dead, and then his mantle is passed on to Riri Williams, who's Ironheart. But they've yet to introduce her in the MCU, so it's probably going to go to his daughter Morgan. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, when she ages up, of course.
I also think that's why they're setting up this whole like who's gonna be a new Iron Man and like it's Spider-Man and whatnot, because and also that's why he's gonna get 9 movies, because as he gets older.
Well, yeah,
Spider-Man
Spider-Man will eventually take up that role.
Yeah, he's gonna be a leader in the next few Avengers movies whenever they come up.
My favorite Spider-Man comic is the Amazing Spider-Man run where Spider-Man is.
Are you talking about the Dan Slott series, like post?
Is that the one where
post Superior Spider-Man?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think
where he's like Tony Stark and he's like a billionaire.
Yeah. And Spider-Man's like his bodyguard.
Yeah.
That's my absolute favorite Spider-Man run, just because
Really?
I love the fucking costume. Yeah.
Interesting.
The costume's so badass.
Send me the costume. I don't think I've ever seen it.
You have. It's the one in the Spider-Man PS4 game.
It's the one with the green eyes, right?
Yeah. It's got green eyes and the
glowing symbol. Yeah. This is an interesting take, but I don't know. For me, it's a bit too much of a departure from what is the essence of the Peter Parker character.
Yeah.
Because
I think
it happened essentially when he was in a coma. Like Doc Ock had taken over his body, and he made a $1 billion company, and then he wakes up and then he's like, "Oh, I'm a billionaire," and suddenly all the human struggles that came with being Spider-Man, particularly Peter Parker, were gone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't think it's because. I just think it's an interesting run.
Oh yeah, interesting.
It's
I like it.
From
It's just
what Spider-Man is.
Yeah, they're definitely going to take some inspiration from that, I think, because don't get me wrong, I really loved the sequence on the jet, the Quinjet, where he's creating the new suit. You've got AC/DC blasting in the background, and then Happy's like interacting with Peter. Like those are some of the most genuine interactions that we've seen in a while from the MCU.
Yeah.
Besides
what I want to see?
Endgame and Infinity War.
You know what I kind of hope to see in the next few movies? Like him interacting with Pepper and Morgan. Like as Morgan gets older, he'll be kind of like the big brother to Morgan, and just like.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Anymore.
Do you think they'll bring back the Harley character, the kid from Iron Man 3?
No,
I don't know.
Because they're saying
maybe
there's a rumor that he's going to be Iron Lad. But I have
Lad.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's a teen version of Iron Man.
I got it.
I think it would be interesting considering that he was there at the funeral. Why would bring him back? For
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
For no reason.
It's
just for like sentimental reasons.
Yeah, it's really for posterity. But I mean, the fact that he's back, it shows you that the character is still alive.
I guess it shows that Marvel hasn't forgotten about him.
Yeah.
So maybe they won't use him in the future, but who knows?
There, Robert. I just sent the Spider-Man suit that I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
It's a cool suit.
It's pretty cool. I like
My favorite one in the game actually is still the the classic suit. Like, I like that it
Yeah.
it looks like the classic suit, but it's not like tacky. Like, it doesn't look like cloth,
Yeah.
you know. Like, I don't know, they nailed it.
I like it too. That's one of my favorites as also.
I think my favorite Spider-Man suit. This is getting off topic from the movie. I understand that, but
Oh no,
I
it's
think my favorite
natural
Spider-Man
progression.
suit for sure is in general is the Scarlet Spider. Not the one, not Ben Reilly, but Kane.
Kane.
Scarlet Spider. Yeah.
Interesting.
The red and black one. It just looks so cool.
It does look really cool. I think I like the Ben Reilly version a bit more. Have you seen Ben Reilly's second suit?
I haven't.
Yeah, it was a brief run in the 90s, but then after he became Spider Carnage, it's still really cool. And then eventually it was passed on to his daughter, who is also a spider person.
Oh, is it this one? Hold on. Let me send it in the Discord.
Should we move on to Lion King just because we're
It's,
running short on time?
Yeah. I've got to go here in about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But 1 second. Yeah, it's the one with the circle of web shooters.
Circle of web shooters?
Yeah, he's got like bracelets.
Oh, wait. Okay, so we're looking at two different ones. Is that his second costume?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because he's got the one with the hoodie, and then he's also got this one. And in fact, the MCU has taken a lot of inspiration from this, actually. Because you'll be able to see like where the symbol comes from, particularly on the Iron suit. There you go.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the because I'm looking at a different one. I can't fucking find that thing on my. Oh, here it is. I thought you were talking about this one. Because I thought that one that you just sent was the Doc Ock, the Superior Spider-Man.
Oh no, that one's. I don't like his suit. It's ugly. It's
You don't like Superior Spider-Man?
I mean, I like the Superior Spider-Man run, but I don't like his suit. It's like brown and black and red. That's the one we're thinking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm looking at some concept art for what they were gonna do for Spider-Man Far From Home, and like how it's similar to the.
Yeah, I think they came up. Yeah, there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's huge inspiration. And then of course, you know, the Ben Reilly, the hoodie suit is pretty much the biggest like draw for the homemade suit for Homecoming.
It looks
All right.
exactly like the Ben Reilly one.
Yep.
So
Can we
on
make move from Spider-Man?
Yes.
Yeah, let's move from Spider-Man.
All right,
On
let's move
to-
from
What are we
Spider-Man.
talking about?
The
Lion
Lion
King.
King.
Speaking of spiders, guys, another amazing animal in the animal kingdom. Lions.
Lions.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah. 1 second. Let me roll the clip.
I missed him! I'm gonna get one of those vultures one day. I'm gonna get one.
I don't know why it's so important to you.
I just feel like it would make me feel better. Oh no, it's a little lion.
That is not a lion.
Well, then go check it out. What is
That
it?
is not a lion. It's a furry bird.
It looks like a lion.
It's not a lion. Let me get a closer look. Excuse me. All right, let me see what we're dealing with here. It's a lion! Run for your life!
Wait,
Move
wait,
out!
hey, Timon, wait, Timon, wait. It's a little lion.
It gets bigger.
Can we keep him? Can we please keep him? Oh, okay. I promise. I'll walk him every day. If he makes a little mess, I'll clean it up.
You'll be his little mess. He's gonna eat you and then use my body as a toothpick.
But one day, when he's big and strong, he'll be on our side.
I've got it. What if he's on our side? Hear me out! Having a ferocious lion around might not be such a bad idea.
Well, then can we keep him?
Yes, of course we can keep him!
Well,
My God, who is the brains of this operation?
We're gonna name him Fred.
1 second. I'm gonna roll the next clip.
looks like my fucking hair.
Albert, shut up. The clip's well. Alright. So yeah, it shows those two clips very specifically. The first one, because whenever they're just talking, it looks like the animation is done a little bit better. But particularly that, like, song scene was awful. I hate the photorealism of the animals. It just saps all the creativity out of it.
Yeah, it's just like their mouths don't
at the same time.
It's hard to make an animal mouth move like a human mouth, though.
I guess so.
You can make it look really cartoony.
I'll grant it that, but
good. It wouldn't look good on an actual animal. You can't make an O with a lion's face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. The point is, like, this movie's completely unnecessary. You know?
Yeah, it's one of the cash grabs that they're doing. You know?
Yeah, it shouldn't exist. Jungle Book did a good job, I think. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
A few different Jungle Books,
but it's the same director, actually. Jon Favreau is coming back because he directed Jungle Book and now he's directing The Lion King.
Yeah, I guess
the thing is, though, I think part of the problem is that there's no human characters to add that sense of realism that they want to add.
Yeah.
Because the Jungle Book had, you know, the
Mowgli.
God, I can't even remember the character name.
Yeah.
It had Mowgli, so it added that sense of, like, realism to it, so it didn't look terrible. But the thing is, when you try to make something super photorealistic and make it magical at the same time, you can't have both. You have to, you know, adjust it. Disney should stop this shit because they're ruining good movies. I wouldn't say ruining, because you can always go back and watch the other one, but I do see what you're saying.
Like, they need to start making original. Like, they're being lazy almost.
I don't know.
Because, like, they haven't come out with, like, an original IP that, like, has gotten as famous as The Lion King whenever they came out with The Lion King.
I mean, Frozen is pretty fucking good.
Frozen, yeah, but, like, that's... And then they're making, like, a fucking Frozen 2. And they're just gonna...
I mean, that makes sense. You're not remaking Frozen. You're making Frozen 2.
But, like, after The Lion King... they made a Lion King 2 and it didn't do good. So they moved on and they made another IP, which, like...
They made Lion King...
And then they made other classic movies, like Aladdin.
They made a Lion King 3.
Let's talk about the Aladdin remake.
Oh,
which I haven't seen, but I heard was terrible.
I heard it was pretty good.
It was moderate.
I heard it was all right. Yeah. They changed certain things to make it more modern. Like, they gave Jasmine more of a role in the movie than she did in the original movie. They changed a few lines, I think, so that it's less.
Yeah.
You know.
Here's a hot take for you. I went back and I rewatched the original film, you know, the animated one before, because I wanted to watch it before watching the new one, but I never watched it anyway. And you know what? It's not that great. It's an average movie at best.
You're talking about
Aladdin.
Original Aladdin.
Sorry, I should have clarified. But
interesting.
Yeah. I don't think it's as good as people hype it up to be just because Robin Williams is in it. No disrespect to Robin Williams.
Going back and watching a lot of those Disney movies, they're not as good as you remember them.
Exactly, yeah.
But I feel like you're looking at things through nostalgia, and that's what it gives you. It gives things major points.
Well, yeah, it's part of the machine.
Yeah.
I think all of this started off with which was the first live action that they made? I think it was
Jungle Book.
Cinderella.
Cinderella?
2014, right?
Yeah.
What about Beauty and the Beast? When did that come out?
It did horrible.
Shortly after.
2015.
Okay, because I'd never heard of Cinderella.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Beauty and the Beast.
Oh no, actually, the first one would have been that god awful. Is it Maleficent? It was either that one or the Oz movie. Whenever they got the rights to the Wizard of Oz.
Came out 2014. What about Alice in Wonderland? 2010.
Oh yeah, yeah. Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, which was not a bad movie.
It was okay. That's what I'm saying.
I
It's
think
it's a remake that has a different enough tone to it that it makes it feel new.
Yeah.
But when you have someone that's a very like straightforward director like Jon Favreau, you know, you can't really. He's a good technical director because he knows how to work with the resources that he has, but he doesn't know how to add like a special flavor to it. In other words, you know, and that's the problem with a lot of the Disney remakes. I didn't like that they tried to desexualize Jasmine, even though they had already done what they did, and it will always exist with the original Aladdin. That's from Wkiee.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure.
Like her costume, or what?
Do you want to elaborate on that, Wkiee? Or actually, we've got some time. We've got some time if you guys want to join us. We'll now be taking callers.
Can you do !Discord? Discord, is that a thing?
Let me post the link. I haven't set it up with my bot.
Oh, okay. The first.
I'm Garfield, and I hate Mondays.
Good lord.
The first live-action movie that Disney released was The Jungle Book in 1994.
Really?
Yeah. Directed by Steven Sommers. Yeah, and then they did 101 Dalmatians, 102 Dalmatians.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
So that 102 Dalmatians was the longest jump in between live-action films from 2000, and then the next one that they did was 2010, which was Alice in Wonderland.
Wow. You know what I did watch though? Which remake I did watch?
What?
Dumbo.
Dumbo.
Yes. And you know what?
Oh, it looked really bad.
It wasn't bad. It was just okay.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like wow or anything, but it was different enough that it was fine. Which part of that is because the original like animation was from 1943. So it was only like an hour long. So they had to really like extend the story. And then on top of that, they went with the same photorealistic thing to where he's just a normal elephant that can't talk. Yeah. You know, obviously as normal as a Dumbo can be. But yeah, they ended up hyping up a lot more of the human characters, which I think helped in the long run because it gives you a more relatable struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed a lot of the context around the film. It's now like a post-war film. It's really weird.
Interesting.
It's also got that Tim Burton like flavor to it, so that was nice.
Yeah, he directed it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
So you said that Dumbo doesn't talk in this one?
He doesn't. No.
Wow.
There's no talking mouse or anything.
Interesting. I'm looking at the Wikipedia right now, and it says there's mixed reviews from critics who praise its visuals and performances, but criticize Burton's direction, the screenplay, and lack of soul compared to the original, while saying it didn't live up to its potential.
Yeah, I feel like that's an unfair criticism though, because there's not a lot of soul in the original to begin with.
It's true.
It's literally a 50-minute movie about an elephant reuniting with his mother.
Yeah.
Which they do in the movie. It's just it takes a long time to get there because you have a lot more characters to juggle. Because this is a long movie actually. This is over 2 hours.
Minutes.
Yeah. Almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
But Michael Keaton is enjoyable as the villain, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah. I mean, Burton's direction was fine, I think. Screenplay, yeah, I can see some problems there because there was some awkward sounding dialogue. A couple forced arcs, like, you know, the little girl in the movie wants to be a scientist. But then the dad's like, no, you can't be a scientist. You're a woman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Very, very tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, very... I don't want to say... what's it called? What's the... Fuck. When it's happening right now. Like...
Contemporary.
No. What is it? When something references something that's happening right now, it's called. You would say that it's like.
Presently?
Fuck, dude. No.
Currently?
Fuck. Oh, I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue, dude.
I'm drawing a blank.
It's topical.
Okay.
Right? Like that's a topical. Maybe it's not topical. What am I trying to think of? Topical. Current, up to date, up to the minute, contemporary, recent, newsworthy, trendy, pressing, important, timely, popular, buzzworthy. That's the word. Buzzworthy. That's the one I'm looking for.
Buzzworthy.
Yeah. No, I'm joking. I don't know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine, I guess, because it ended up working out. Because it works in the context of the setting that it's in. You know, it's post-war, so it's like 1950s. But I don't know, I guess what I like about it is that it brings out the sort of, like, circus vibes.
Yeah.
Which sounds really inappropriate. But, you know, when you're a kid and you go to the circus, you know, you have that sense of wonder. I don't know about y'all, if y'all have been to the circus.
Oh, yeah.
But they're now extinct. No. So that's what I'm saying, is like you'll never get that feeling ever again. And Burton understands like how that feels. Because in the beginning, they start out, you know, in it's like a small like circus. It's like a rinky-dink circus. And then they get bought out by Michael Keaton. And then, you know, Michael Keaton has this giant amusement park. And it has that like that childlike sense of wonder where everything's huge and vast, and you know, it's satisfying when you see Dumbo take off. Even though you know the moral implications of that, you know. Mm-hmm. So it does a good job of balancing that. But that's besides the point, because we're not here to talk about Dumbo. We're here to talk about remakes. And just remakes in general.
They should just tone it down, calm it down a little bit. I don't know.
How do you guys feel about the way the industry is heading? Like, in terms of just remaking everything?
It's just there. I mean, I can see why. I guess because, like, they can't just keep making new stuff over and over again. But, like, sometimes they need to know when to stop. Like, Star Wars, like, they're making an episode 9, and they're making, like, a whole bunch of spin-offs now just because they own the rights to it. They made a theme park at Disney World or Disneyland, whichever one it is.
Would you say that more Star Wars movies is a good thing or a bad thing?
Ooh, that's a good topic.
Yeah, it is.
Personally, after episode 9, I'm never gonna watch another fucking Star Wars movie again.
Really?
Yeah, never. I'm so fucking tired of Star Wars.
It's
so bland.
It's so boring to me now, and just bland, and it's like oversaturated.
Thank you. Oversaturated is the perfect word.
Oversaturated is a good word. I'd say that while it's such an interesting world to live in, you know what I mean? And each movie that you go in, it gives you more depth in that world and gives you more experience and, like, you know, tells you a little bit more about it. But I think that there's only so much that you can take from it. While there may be an infinite amount of interesting stories in that world, like you can go into the Clone Wars, and there's different eras and like you know, the Old Republic and stuff like that. But the more Disney specifically goes into it, I don't know. I feel like they're muddying the water.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And it's a big thing for me because I used to. You guys know I used to be a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
This is a huge 180 for me. But after, you know, Solo, the disappointment that was Solo, and then the lackluster Episode 8. Episode 8 I respected as a film because it's masterfully crafted by Rian Johnson in terms of filmmaking. But as a Star Wars movie, it's just alright. You know, and I think I'm tired of, you know, people just overhyping this
It was
average series, you know? It's pretty what?
Part 8 was really, like, just linear. Like, it was just...
Yeah. I'll agree with that.
I think there was a lot of things in Part 8 that really were fucking stupid. Like, the whole...
The green milk?
arc between the green milk. Yeah, that's the biggest gripe. It's the biggest gripe I have. It's the green milk.
Papa Yoda.
I was thinking the love arc between Rose and Finn. That was,
yeah.
It felt a little forced.
Yeah.
It did feel forced.
Had they introduced that character in episode 7, maybe it would have worked.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
They tried to put so much on Rose, like with her sister dying at the beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
like with the necklace, and just like her, she all of a sudden is like a character that we're supposed to know for so long, and is like already just like a huge character for some reason.
Yeah.
And what was the point of the entire movie if
everything just comes back to zero?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is the point of that?
I respect it as a film because there's so much good to like there. Like the sequence where Laura Dern fucking rams the ship into the fleet.
That
was great.
That was perfect.
Lots of good choreography,
beautiful,
great fight scenes. But in terms of plot, and just as a Star Wars movie in general, it was just so bland.
Yeah. It's
on another note though, it was great to see Yoda back again.
Oh, yeah. Yoda was great. Yeah.
Failure. That was horrible.
Failure. This movie is. These guys are haters. I guess so. I don't know. I'm tired of Star Wars, dude. They're like Star Wars for the rest of your fucking life.
It's too much Star Wars.
Exactly.
I agree that it's cool that they've gone further past the what was it, 6 films that they had originally, but I don't know. I feel like the story kind of wrapped up nicely there. The Empire was saved or whatever. I mean, the Empire was defeated. And
you know what I would have liked?
What?
To see the world that they created afterwards, not like a whole new like in episode 7 whenever it started off and like, oh, here's the First Order. Like, I would have much rather liked to see the planet that the First Order destroyed, that was like Coruscant, 2.0, and like they had started this whole like almost government and on that planet, and it was like,
well, that was the center of the New Republic, so yeah. Technically, we did see that, but I hear you. I hear what you're saying, and the thing is,
saw it get blown up.
The thing is, I've read, post episode 6. It's a book series called The Heir to the. I think it's Heir to the Throne. I can't remember, but if you remember Grand Admiral Thrawn, he's the main villain. So he's the main villain for parts 7 through 9 in Lucas's version, the series of books, and they are god awful boring. It's just a bunch of bureaucracy. It's not until like episode 9 where things take off, but it's just Luke attending Senate meetings, and Luke and Leia in diplomacy.
I think instead of going, because I know that one of the main criticisms of the first sequel, I guess, the number 7,
the
7th movie, was that it was basically the same as A New Hope.
That it's cookie cutter,
The same story beats it. It's all the same, and I think that instead of going with bringing in the New Order and it's like, oh shit, we're back to fucked, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, and now we're back to having rebels and versus this giant, empire type thing. I think that it would have been more interesting to maybe see how that world that Luke and Leia were about to build, how its shortcomings, like, because they're used to having this tiny little republic or this tiny little rebel, you know what I mean? And now Luke has to start up the Jedi all over again from scratch, and now Leia has to start up a new order from scratch, and like, you know what I mean? So maybe there's shortcomings there, or maybe we go way into the future. And so we go way into the future, and Luke and Leia are dead now, right? And they're fucking dead, and everyone, they look up to them or whatever, right? But now that it's been a few years, some of those good times have started to wear off, and things are starting to go back to the way they were, or something like that. You know what I mean? So instead of seeing, because in the prequel movies, it's all, everything's good and it's slowly leading up to the bad.
Yeah.
And then it ends with, oh fuck, it's the bad now. And then the next 4 movies after the next 3 movies after that, so 4 through 6. Now it's like, oh shit, we're in the bad and we gotta fight the bad. Maybe it'd be interesting to see the bad just starting out. So not us leading up to the bad, not we're in the bad now, but hey, look, the bad's starting and it's starting to get bigger.
Oh yeah, I completely agree.
It's getting bigger.
I think it would have been interesting if they had switched those roles. Sorry, like if they had done, like you were saying, you know, the Republic, the New Republic, is now the Empire.
Yeah.
And the Empire is now the Rebels because they're such a small faction. You know, we see that sort of overtaking until you get to the final climax, you know, where it's the last of the New Republic versus, you know, the now much more powerful First Order. You know?
Yeah. Would have been really interesting.
But I don't know. Honestly, this is a little off topic, but I don't think the prequels are that bad.
They're not bad. They're not that bad. They definitely have their bad moments, but as a whole, I don't think they're that bad. I think the worst of the prequels is definitely the first one.
For sure.
But I think that by the third one, they kind of have their shit together, and it has a reputation by that point of being bad, and that's why, you know, they think they're all bad. But I think the third one might be the best out of all of them.
So you like episode 3?
I like episode 3.
I do as too. I do as well. I do as well. It's one of my favorites, actually.
Even if to see a series of movies of how the Jedi and the Sith Empire formed in the Old Republic.
I think they're making an Amazon series about that, are they not? Well, actually, it would be Disney now, but
yeah. Which one? The Mandarin.
Oh yeah, that's Jon Favreau's
The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian, yeah.
Damn, Jon Favreau's got work, dude. Holy shit.
I know, dude. I wish I could be Jon Favreau.
For sure.
Isn't he a chef too? Like he likes to cook professionally? Or...
He was.
He has a show on Netflix called The Chef.
Yeah, he also made the movie Chef.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna get going, but yeah, tune in next week. Should be every weekend, hopefully. But yeah, ideally, you know, format for next week, we're gonna try to have, you know, like a current movie, some movie news, and then one movie that we haven't seen, to where we can all discuss it. And definitely next time we'd like to have you guys, you know, participate. So if you guys want to talk with us, you know, we'd love to hear your opinions. Link to the Discord is in the description.